Yeah, I've seen lots of tape on him and got lots of reports over his time at Harvard and at the Olympics, and I was able to watch some of the Olympics myself. Um, Really smart player, very skilled player. He's produced at a very high rate, both in the USHL and then now in college hockey. Um, he's one of the captains at Harvard, which speaks to his character and leadership and what his teammates think of him. I spoke with Ted Donato yesterday from Harvard, and he acknowledged that captaincy at Harvard is voted upon by his peers. So that he's a good, smart player, and he's been able to produce and make plays, and coaches trust him. Obviously, his ability to earn a spot on the Olympic team speaks to where he is and sort of in the college landscape, and now he's making the transition to pro hockey. So we're going to help him with that and give him an opportunity here.
What's the plan for when you might work him into the lineup?
Yeah, we're going to just take it a day at a time. I mean, timing today we didn't think was quite right. This morning was his first skate since his team was eliminated on the weekend. He hasn't even been on the ice, let alone the fact that he hasn't been even in a training camp or exhibition or anything like that with us. But we'll take it a day at a time. I wanted to get him extra reps in the morning skate today just to help him stay involved and get comfortable that way. And we'll take it a day at a time. We'll see both where he's at and where our team and our lineup is at. But he is going to get in here in the near future.
How do you feel William has responded following Saturday night and you playing?
Yeah, I thought his game the other night was good. Like I talked about, I thought he worked. I thought he had the puck on his stick a fair bit, and they had some good shifts. The third period, that line had some really good shifts. Probably their best shifts came in the third. So it was a good day.
You were saying it's a crappy feeling to be on the ice for a lot of goals against of late. What can you do to, prevent that?
Well, I think our entire team, we're trying to play better defensively. I think we have done that. It's the consistency, shift to shift, play to play. With pucks going in the net, it's not always one player's fault. Often there's multiple breakdowns, and then there's a goaltender there as well. So I don't focus too much on the volume of goals that have gone in. It's more just play to play, and sometimes there's plays for players that puck doesn't go in the net that you're not happy with because when they happen more than once, it tends to be a trend that might hurt you down the line. So those are the kind of things you're getting ahead of, and that's not just for Will.
What is your level of concern that you're at this point in the season and that second line you still haven't really found the chemistry or the magic that you're looking for?
Well, right now it's high on the list for sure. It has been throughout the season at times very good for us, so we're confident in that we can get it to that point. At the same time, as we mix things up here, maybe something else comes to light that we like. We have gone at different times in the last while, where we've kind of put John and Will on different lines. As you guys know, we've done that and wanted to get a look at that and sort of shifted back. But here we are again, and it's another look at that. We'll see what comes of it. Either we find some good chemistry here that really works. If we can get three lines really going, then all the better. Four would be best. That's really what our goal is. I think when we look at it, we played Florida, the other night, Boston here tonight, and I think those are kind of the hallmarks of the top teams is that they've got four lines that can really go, and I know we can get there, and we have been there lots throughout the season. So we've got to find the right mix to both get to that point collectively as lines, but also get the individual players going and thriving.
How did Jack look to you skating with the team?
Yeah.
Full skate for the first time?
Yeah, it looked great. Looked great. Doesn't look far off. We're gonna see how he is here coming out of this skate today and take it kind of I would say day to day from here.
What would you like the identity of the fourth line to be if it's clicking?
Well, I think in terms of identity, I think we have different mix of players. Obviously, look at a player like Nick that's come in here now, and Blackwell's still new and fresh to the group. So in terms of the identity itself, I mean, it depends on who's in or who's out or what that looks like. But what we're looking for from the fourth line is to just be a line that can look to win shifts for us, generate momentum, you know, spend time on in the other team's end, and give us energy, physicality, presence, those kind of things. That's really what you're looking for, just to build momentum for the team when it's not going, and get some energy. Keep the momentum going if it is going, and not have it go the other way. So that's something we've been experimenting with. We're going to try Blackwell in the middle here tonight, and put Spez on the wing, and see how that goes. And Blackwell's played center a lot through his life, not a whole lot in the NHL necessarily, but he's comfortable taking face-offs. He's actually quite good on the draw. We do have Spez's presence there still to take face-offs. I want to see how that changes the dynamic.
There's been games where you guys have played down to maybe some of the teams near the bottom of the standings, but when you've been faced with those top three Atlantic Division rivals, you guys have generally performed pretty well. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I mean, it obviously shows the level of respect that we have for these opponents. Clearly, that's something you want to have all the time, right? I mean, we don't want to just be a team that responds to what's happening in the schedule. We want to be a team that's just who we are, and I think every team in the league has their moments, against teams that are lower in the standings and such, and some of ours here of late, of course, there's a bigger spotlight on it, given our market, first of all, and then also just given that it's happened a little more frequently of late. But I think it happens throughout the league. And if I have my choice, it would be to be great all the time and be consistent with our effort and our approach and all of that. But certainly, these are the types of games, where you want to be great in, and you want to find your way to the other side of it. So we were able to do that the other night, and we put to the test here again today. I mean, this Boston team has been as good or better than anybody in the league for the last couple of months. So there was a lot of tension on the Florida game, and for good reason. They're a very good team, but this Boston team for quite a while now has been, really strong.
What do you? Sorry, go ahead.
Well, just any more clarity on Cash's health?
No, he's on the trip with us here, so he's not a guy that we've talked about, but he's in kind of a holding pattern here right now as he's trying to figure out his next steps. He's continuing to be active and work out and all those things.
So did he suffer a concussion?
No, that's not what they haven't told me that at this point. So he's just, like I said, continuing to work through things in the process, and our staff making sure that they're comfortable and allowing them to resume.
As an opposing coach, you're scouting these guys. For the longest time, they had that top line, and it was kind of cemented, and now they've kind of flipped it around a little bit. What do you make of that?
Well, it's given them, I think, as I followed them throughout the season, and we played them once early in the season, but as I followed them, it seems like things have really kind of solidified themselves, and that they've slotted into different spots, and whether it's Smith being on the third line or Foligno on the fourth line, and Holla being up there on the second. Things have really solidified for them. I think they've found a rhythm, from what I can see, of four lines that are really going for them. Obviously, Bergeron line is outstanding. I'm sure they have a lot of confidence they can go to that at any time. But the Pasternak line has been really good here of late as well, especially, and it gives them lots of weapons, lots of depth that way. All four lines compete and play hard and play with defensive structure. It's as good a defensive team as there is in the league, and they don't give you a whole lot. So that makes you have to really work to get to their net. So no matter who you're on the ice against, that's a big thing for us. Then at the same time, because they're not going to give you much, you got to make sure you're not giving up much either. So it's it's a tough game for our guys here tonight, and we're ready for it. I think coming off of the two games that we played, even though we didn't get the result in Montreal, I liked a lot of things we did there, and we carried that over against a very dynamic offensive team in Florida, and we put to the test here again tonight on that.
Is the last city you had to visit, I guess, in the whole NHL put things into perspective.
Strange. Yeah, it feels strange. I've been fortunate to be on the job for a little while here now, and to have not have been here, team in your division it's strange, and made me work for it. It was interesting getting down to the coaches' room here in this building today. It's not one of the easier ones to get to, so I'm glad I had some folks to show me around.
What have you heard about the Garden in terms of what it's like for an opposing team to walk into?
Yeah, just atmosphere. You know, we've played a number of buildings like this, but certainly, it's unique in Boston. I played in this building before many years ago now, but I've experienced that part of it and seen enough games and stuff on TV, and we've had lots of players that have played here lots, so we know what to expect on that end.
It just opened when you played here, right?
Yeah.
It was like a year or two.
Yes, sounds about right. Yeah.